Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be using a KeaTown kit and I love how this one turned out. I was going to use this for Dia de los Muertos, but I had a KeaTown kit that I wanted to use for that week, so I decided to use this one for the week of Halloween. And if you guys want to see how it turns out, please keep watching. I have a couple more questions from the Get to Know Me tag, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish those along. Hopefully I finish by the time this video is done. The next question that's on the list is a serendipitous moment. Something happened that you didn't want to happen but ended up being for the best. And for this, the first thing that came to mind was actually my current job. I never thought I would be a special education teacher. I never thought I would have the patience for it. And I just didn't think I would be working in this position that I am as a co-teacher, and just a position where I would be using Spanish a majority of the day, which I do love. I do love my job, and I realized that this job made me realize that I am a super patient person. I think I'm more patient with my kids than I am with the adults that I work with, which is really crazy to think about, but this position right now is currently making me super happy. Remote learning sucks, but when I was back in the classroom with the kids, it was a job that I was looking forward to, waking up to every day, and I did not hate going to work. Which I always tell my fiance that I would never want to be in that position, and I feel really bad for people that do have to do that, but I'm very lucky and blessed that I am in the position where I do love my job and love seeing the people that I go to work with and work with. The next question says, if you could get your subscribers all in one room, what would you say? I am a very shy and timid person, so I would honestly have no idea, but the first thing would probably just to say thank you, as well as what do you think? I love criticism when it's feedback for what I do, so I just love to see people when they enjoy my work and let me know what I can do to improve as well. Similar to how I am at my job, I just like critique when it's helpful to you to grow as a person, and I hope that you guys have been able to see me growing as a person on Instagram or on YouTube. I'm trying to be better at talking to myself, but I think a lot of people have this talent on their own with no practice, and for me it takes a little bit more work, so I hope you guys are going to continue on this journey with me. Next question asks what your favorite show is, and for this one it's really difficult, almost as difficult as the favorite sticker shop, where I'm going to be like everyone else, where I'm not able to choose one. There's so many that I love and rewatch and enjoy so much for different reasons. A classic for me is The Office. I think you guys can just watch that no matter what episode and you'd find joy in it. I do not like it as much after Michael Scott leaves, but I do love it while he is there, and I do just love the different dynamics of the show and different character developments that you get. Some older shows that I can think of that I love is Psych and Monk. I don't think people talk about it enough, but I do love those shows so much. I loved White Collar a lot as well. And right now, some more recent favorites that I do love is Atypical, which you should watch if you just love a different kind of romance show. It has the main character is a child that's on the spectrum, and it just shows him going through life and trying to find a girlfriend, basically, as well as there's another show that's called Sex Education, and that one's really good as well. I could probably go on forever, but I'm going to leave it at those, and hopefully if you guys want more recommendations, I'll leave some more if you guys request it. The next question on the list is your biggest fear. For me, I have small fears like dying and just heights in general, and different animals as well. If we're talking about my biggest fear that I'm scared about is just ending up like those true crime stories that I always listen to on my podcast. I'm always very paranoid about the world that we live in and just all the bad people there are in this world and what they can do. And I would hate to know anybody that is in that situation, and I hate that it happens, but that's probably my biggest fear. The next question says, how accurate is your planner? Are you always as productive as your plans seem? And for me, since I do memory keeping, it is very accurate. I do have another planner that I don't show and take pictures of, which is my planner that I put all my checklists and things that I have to do, as well as journal. So those things are pretty accurate as well, just because they're to-do lists, and if I don't complete them, then I don't necessarily need to complete it that day. I'll try to complete it that week. For the second part of the question, which is, are you always as productive as your plans seem? I think this kind of varies. from day to day, whether or not I have a long day or not, and whether I have things to do or not. Some days I'll have a super lazy day, but lately I've been having a lot of things on my daily plans just because I like to add a lot of things as well that I want to remember. The next question is number 14, which asks, what intimidates you about the community? And for this one, I think it's just the community growing in a direction that is too advanced for me, I guess. Everybody has their own different planning styles, but I've just been seeing a lot of girls that have been doing such an amazing job at layering specifically that really intimidates me and makes me want to try it, but I know that I won't like it. They do a lot of florals and adds and accents of different florals into their spreads, and mandalas have been a really big thing. And I'm sorry if I'm insulting you if I'm saying all this, but it's just not my style. I think it's too girly for me. I'm not into lace and all of that, so mandalas and florals are really not my thing. I like to add floral because I like the shininess of it, but it intimidates me that so many people are kind of leaning towards that, and I'm scared that my planner and the way I plan is not going to look as extravagant, I guess the word would be, and sophisticated as theirs do. Let me know if you guys feel the same way below or completely different at all. I would love to hear your opinions about it. The next question says your strengths / your weaknesses. First, my strengths I think would be, as a true Hufflepuff, I am very much a Hufflepuff. I am very loyal, I am very nice, and I'm the true depiction of what a Hufflepuff is, almost boring in a sense, a lot of people might say. In terms of weaknesses, that can also be a weakness as well, but I think my biggest weakness is just my memory, how horrible it is. Me and my fiance have gotten into a couple fights about my memory, forgetting plans that we're supposed to have or things about telling him. I think another horrible weakness of mine is just keeping in touch with people. I'm horrible at text messaging and calls, so my friends and family, they definitely know how annoying I am when I don't respond to them in forever, and they know that whenever they call me, it's kind of a hit and miss whether or not I'll be responding to them or not. I'm trying to get better, and it was a goal of mine to make a New Year's resolution just so that I can kind of stick to it, and I was doing better at it. But with the new widget system that the iPhone did, it's actually made it kind of different, I would say. It's making me check the things more just because you don't get notifications, but it's also just kind of annoying to have to go through the shortcuts, but I do love how my screen looks. The next question is asking what your best childhood memory is, and I don't know how far along childhood would be considered, but I think when I was in 7th grade, this was my memory that I had for why I wanted to become a teacher overall, is because I went to 7th grade and did a little summer school program where I was helping out a 2nd grade teacher with her kids, and I just loved that job so much that it's kind of bloomed me into this person that I am today and made me want to teach other kids. I just loved that I was helping out another teacher, teaching these young minds, as well as the kids were just amazing, and we just got so close, and I was almost like a big sister to all of them, which I loved, and I was able to do it with my best friend from back then, which was amazing as well. I forgot to mention that I was filming this planning spread, and actually when I was doing it, I'm missing a little bit of a clip, but I also end up being not very satisfied with how it looks because a lot of things look too cluttered, like this box right here. So I actually end up switching my icons and switched a lot of different things around. So if you do want to see the final spread, please look at my planner Instagram because that'll be most accurate. I just wanted to put this planner spread up since I already had it all filmed and ready to go, but definitely look on my Instagram if you want to see it in its full completed spread. Moving on to the next question, I only have a couple more left, but the next one says, what's your favorite movie? And for this, it's always been Moulin Rouge. I don't know why, but I think it's because there's so many song elements in it. I'm always a huge musical person, but I love the music that's in the song. I love the look of everyone in that movie, and just looking at the two main characters. I'm forgetting their names right now, but I just really love the movie, and it's always been my favorite. I think that's the movie I've rewatched the most times, even more than Disney movies, which is crazy to think about, but that is definitely my favorite movie. There's definitely lots of other movies that I love too. I just can't like put them all in the same first place, you know? That one's the one that I can I know I like rewatch the most and I will never get sick of it. Different ones like Inception is an obvious favorite that I think a lot of people do enjoy. Shutter Island, I think, is one of my favorite thrillers that I've ever watched. For some reason, I love all the Madea movies, even though a lot of people don't like them. I just love Tyler Perry a lot. So I really love those movies. I love all Disney movies, of course, and Pixar as well is a lot of my favorites as well. And just more of the kind of, I don't know what you would call it. I think it would be kind of psychological thriller, maybe. But like Sherlock and Logan and all those action movies I love as well. And I'm very diverse in that aspect where I love a lot of very different types of movies. The ones I just don't like is probably the ones that have to do with cars. Fast and Furious, for example, I was never really into any of those. As well as just old-timey ones I was never really into as well. The next question asks, which TV subscription do you use the most? And this one's pretty easy. I think it would definitely be Netflix. That one I share with my fiance and we definitely watch it almost every day, I believe. And since they've incorporated a lot of Korean dramas onto that TV subscription as well, I do love different shows on there from Netflix that they have made. Before this, I think when I was first starting to get into K-dramas, I actually subscribed to the K-drama TV subscription. I think it's called Viki.com, not like Wikipedia, but with a V instead. So I was subscribed to them for a little bit just because the episodes were more available there for the different ones that I wanted to watch. Netflix didn't really have a wide selection yet. So I really used that one a lot, as well as Hulu was probably another one as well when I was having a lot more shows now than I was before than now. For example, like Grey's Anatomy is on there, as well as Modern Family was on there, and How to Get Away with Murder, all those Thursday shows. That was probably my other one that I used a lot, very often. The next question asks, other YouTube channel genres that you watch? And for this, there's a very, very wide spectrum for me. My largest thing that I watch is probably Korean music in general. I love Korean songs, and when they debut with a new song, they usually have a lot of different stages with it, as well as just music videos and the backup behind the scenes kind of footage that they have, and I love watching all of those. They have a lot of shows that they go on to talk about more about themselves and do different games, some variety shows, and I really love watching those. But other than that, I think the other one that I really love to watch is lifestyle vlogs these days, as well as cleaning videos and going into Sims, as well as different comedy ones as well. And the other thing I love to do, which my fiance actually hates, is that I love to watch podcasts. So different podcasts that I watch, they do their episodes with video, and I love to watch it versus listening to it most of the time, just because I am very much a reading your face kind of emotion kind of person versus just listening to it. I follow different singers, as well as different people that do reaction videos to singers, as well as different reaction videos to Korean songs, all the way to different people that make different things and draw different things. I've just dived into kind of every different piece of YouTube that you can probably think of. And finally, the last question is a quote that you live by. And I think the one that is the first one that I can think of is definitely live, love, and laugh. It's not really a quote per se, but it's definitely something that I've heard since I was a little teenager, and it was kind of a quote that was in t-shirts and all different kinds of things. And I've loved that quote ever since then, just because I always needed to have that little reminder for myself, and to the point where I have different various tattoos of live and love at the moment. I still plan to get one that's of laugh. I just don't know how I want to depict it yet, but that's probably the first quote in quotation marks that comes to mind. The last quote that's actually a quote is by someone named Bernard M. Barrick, who says, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind." And I've always kind of loved that quote, just because I was always kind of a shelled person, and I think I still am sometimes, so I'm still trying to live this quote to the fullest. But those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. I think that's a really good thing to think to yourself, to not think too much about what other people that don't matter think, and think more about the people that do care about you, and realize that those people that do care about you, they wouldn't be basically judging you for how you're presenting yourself. And I think that this is a very helpful quote to just stay true to yourself and not to think too much about what other people think about you. Because the ones that do care about you and think about you are the ones that usually don't mind and don't judge what you have to say. Those are all the different questions for the Get to Know Me tag. This was made by Planner Addict, and I'll link her down below too if you would like to find all the different questions. I'll still have them listed if you're interested down below, but luckily I'm at the end of my slide so you guys can see that this is my final spread that I made. Like I said, I don't know how it turned out just because there's so much things going on, but this was the week of Halloween. This was the week that it marks 1 year since I've got an engagement with my fiance. And I decided to finish this spread on my own actually. So here you can see my final spread for Dia de los Muertos. And you can see that I marked it down there in the half box. And like I said, I think there was just too much color in my monochromatic life. I just like more simple colors. So here's how these two spreads turned out. Please let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for joining me on this Get to Know Me tag. I hope you guys do the tag as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.